girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you this WM watch. It's a WM194. It's definitely taken design cues from at least one, possibly two other watches. But this is the first watch they've done where I'm thinking they're really starting to turn the corner. In terms of some of the early stuff, it did scream Pagani a little bit, and I sort of made that sort of connection with one of the previous ones. But this one looks a whole lot better, much better finished, just much better put together. Looks like the materials have been better finished and stuff. And I think now, moving forward, from looking at this one and future releases they've got, I think you're going to see a massive improvement in WM watches. They tend to listen a lot. I've had good communication with them. They listen to reviews, they listen to comments, they listen to feedback, which can only benefit a brand. I think sometimes you can get your feelings hurt a little bit when people mention things. I've done it myself when people mention things on my videos, but sometimes fresh eyes and all that, it's nice to have a difference of opinion. Sometimes it helps you to grow, and I'm sure that that's what WM watches are going to do. This one looks a cracker. I've got the orange accents. They've got a few different colours to choose from, but I'll run through all that as we go through the video. But this one, just off the bat, looks probably like their best watch at the moment. But I'm going to stop going on because you want to see the watch. As I say, I'm going to leave a couple links in the description. One to their official website, the other one to AliExpress. Just use whichever one is best for yourself. But as I always say, get yourself a nice beverage, a nice brew, because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. Usual sort of packaging you're now getting from WM Watch. Out of cardboard box. You get sort of like a travel case inside. You get a watch sizing tool. You'll see I took off 3 links for it to fit my wrist. Yeah, good sort of size really. 3 links ain't a bad amount. And this is the case. Quite nice, you can keep using it if you so wish. Inner foam, just to keep it sort of safe in transit. And this watch, just off the bat, is a stunning piece, isn't it? Not very original. Obviously, it's because it's taken design cues from another well-known watch. But yeah, this is the WM194. A few different colours to choose from. I think there's 3. I've got 1, so these are the other 2 you can choose from if you so wish. Inside this watch, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement. What can I say about this movement at this point, guys, that I've not said numerous times before? A real workhorse movement. I think that's how most people describe it. Rugged, reliable, does the business. 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve, and just keeps going and going. Yeah, I can't imagine you have any problems with the movement. Yeah, good reason to use this in dated watches. So there we are. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back and the bezel insert, is all 316L stainless steel. Really just brushing throughout. You've got a faceted edge going down the side of the case. But yeah, the crown, which has got polishing at the sides. So the crown, case, bezel aside from the insert, outer part of the exhibition case back, bracelet, clasp, end links, all 316L stainless steel. As I say, mainly brushed, but has got a few polished surfaces chucked in for good measure. So there we are. The case thickness of the watch is 12.3 millimeters. The case diameter I measure sort of from the side, just above where the crown isn't. It was coming at 41.9 millimeters. When you include the crown, it was kind of 44.9 millimeters. The lug width for this is 20. That does taper down to 18 and back up to 20 mil at the clasp. And the lug-to-lug tip, the tip of the watch, is a true lug-to-lug. Even though it's got a female end links to the center link, and it was coming in at 48.6 millimeters. So decent proportions, maybe a bit wider than it needs to be, but actually not too bad in practicality. So that's the proportions. The case back is a exhibition case back screwed down, just showing off the NH35 movement. Mineral crystal at the back, but yeah, for the sort of price point, I suppose you can't expect it to have sapphire on the back. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional bezel. I'll bring it up here. You'll see it doesn't line up, unfortunately. The clicks are nice, very positive. No real back play, but I would like to have seen the bezel line up. I'll be honest, it's the only thing that's bothered me. No matter what I do, that's one afterwards, this one before, it doesn't line up, unfortunately. It would have been nice to have seen that, but it is what it is. Crown over at the 3 o'clock position, screw down crown, reasonable amount of pop when you unscrew it from the case. Would rather maybe not seen that polished either, but yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, 20mm lug width, that does taper down to 18. Nice bit of taper on the bracelet. The bracelet's actually quite nice. I don't mind that at all. Push pins, just to make it nice and easy to size out. You should have directional arrows at the back, which you'll see. Fully more clasp with WM on there. I'm glad they really got rid of Welly Merc. Wasn't feeling that. You got 6 holes there for micro adjustment. As I said, fully milled, nicely done. Double safety pushes just to make it easy to engage with. No problems there. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal. And you know what? The AR coating on here is not too bad, especially for an inexpensive watch. I can live with that, to be honest, in terms of the AR coating. So yeah, not bad at all. The water resistance, you'll be able to make out down at the 6 is 200 meters. So that'll give you 20 atmospheres of water resistance. And the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 3 links removed, it was coming at 145.8 grams, which really is not too bad, given it's not a tiny watch, is it? I think that's 150-ish is about right, really. And if you put those 3 links back in, you're probably about 160. So probably in and around where it should be. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So the dial itself, it doesn't look like anything's been applied onto the dial. You've got some really nice colours on there. So you've got the orange outer part or section, which is the minute track. Inside that, it's sort of dark. I'd say it's black. Some might say it's not, but yeah, it looks black to me. You got battens in white everywhere. Like I said, they're just printed onto the dial, loom filled, which we'll see in a moment. Slightly smaller batten at the 3 o'clock, given that's where the date window is situated. I do like the colorway though. I do like, and if I didn't mention before, the bezel is a sapphire insert, and I think the color they've used from the sapphire, the orange on the bezel, with the orange on the dial and the hands, it goes pretty well, to be honest. You don't always get that consistency in terms of the colors, but I don't think they look bad. The hands may be a little bit brighter, but I can live with that as well. I think they've done really, really well. The proportions of the hands are done nicely. Some seem to want our hands a bit longer nowadays, but I think if it kisses the inside of the indices, I think that's about where it should be. And the minute and second, they sort of reach out past the minute track, almost to the outer part of it, which, yeah, you can't really complain about. I think that's about bang on. Good proportions on the hands. You got the WM logo just below the batten at the 12. You got automatic 200M, 660 feet just above the batten at the 6. And like I said, it just looks like a really striking watch. It looks like a much better put together watch than they've done. And I do think that WM watches are going to go from strength to strength. The biggest thing they are doing is listening. And I think you can see that with this watch. At this point now, you're wondering, what's the loom saying? So the loom did really surprise me. WM watches, it seemed to be a brand a bit like Pagani Design, where they were sort of getting famous for not being good at loom. Fortunately, the loom on this is something I can live with. It goes and goes pretty good, especially when you consider the materials used, the construction of the watch. I think the loom is definitely one that's passable. Lasts for a while. I dare say as time goes on, that's even something they can improve further. But yeah, far, far better than I was expecting. So yeah, not bad at all. So that's the loom, guys. That's everything going on there. You're now going to have a look at the movement. So I'll take the crown out all the way. You'll see it will hack. What we'll do, we'll scroll through so we can have a good butcher's when the date turns over. I like to do that on dated movements just to see where they've got it to go to. Yeah, let's say 3 minutes to 12. Let's split the baby. I think that's all right, to be honest. I can live with that. Let me go back to where I normally would as well. Sort of 8:10 position-ish. But yeah, that's the, and now we know it's in a safe position. So put it back in, it will start back up again. Put it to the first position, scroll towards you. You can change the date. Do make sure you don't change the date between the hours of 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. just to be safe. You can sort of do a bit of damage to the movement, but that's everything going on. Like I said, take it out of hacks. Also, when it's in the position where it's been unscrewed from the case, if you turn it, you'll hear you can charge it. Just put a bit of juice in there. And that's everything going on there, guys. That's the dial, that's the movement, that's the hand, indices, loom. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so this is what it looks like on me. You'll know I've taken off 3 links for it to fit my wrist. I'm not using any of the micro adjustment. I probably could do with using 1 or 2 of them, but I like it a bit looser. But that's what it looks like. I think it's a real striking watch. Far, far nicer, and definitely a sign of what's to come. And they've got some really outstanding releases. I will endeavour to bring you as many of them as possible. What do you all make of this one, guys? The WM194. Okay, so guys and girls, that'll now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a higher with pucker. So what I think is pants about the watch is, I'll be honest, guys, this one is good. It's a nice watch. I like the colours. I like everything going on. The only thing I'm going to mention is that bezel alignment. Like I said, it's a little bit past it now. I was a bit before it before. They're the breaks. 120 click bezel, but it doesn't line up anywhere. It's always off, which is unfortunate, because the rest of the watch is actually pretty good. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say is the bezel alignment. For pants, what I think is pucker is quite a bit more, because I think this is a cracking watch. Much to like. First, I'm going to start off with the Sapphire Crystal. I would love to have seen a sapphire sandwich, but maybe a bit unrealistic given the price. The hands, I would like the hands on there. I think they've done really well, really well oranged, good proportions. Yeah, looking pretty cool. The loom, like I said, the loom wasn't amazing, but it really surprised me given the sort of level of loom I've sort of come to expect from WM watches. Maybe wrongly, but yeah, I think the loom on this is far more superior. The movement is nice, like an NH35. You've seen these many times, but for good reason. In a watch sort of £100 and less, if you can get a well-known entity like a NH series, NH35, NH36, whatever, in your movement, I think you're winning. So yeah, well done. The bracelet's really nice. It seems well engineered, really nice and comfortable, all brushed. Yeah, just super comfortable. Yeah, articulates to the wrist nicely. The clasp, fully milled clasp, WM embossed on there. I think over time we're going to start seeing more and more with the on-the-fly adjust. But yeah, that's probably going to be watches a little bit more expensive. But yeah, WM embossed on there, fully milled. And finally, the price. I'll bring the price up in front of me. During sales, it's going to be cheaper. But in and around £100 for this watch, I think that's a decent offering, to be honest. I really do. Lots to like. So the things I'm going to say is I'll go with a Sapphire Crystal, hands, loom, movement, bracelet, clasp, and the price of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, WM watch, I don't know what they are yet. Are they more Pagani design? Are they more San Martin? But as time goes on, they're definitely less Pagani design. Maybe not quite San Martin or Chronos and brands like this, but they're definitely getting in there. And I expect them to go from strength to strength. And I would definitely recommend this watch. I think it's a cool offering, very vibrant, not very original. But yeah, what do you all think? But guys and girls, as I always say, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly. And maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.